What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF. Back with another video, man. This is going to be a special video. Very hard for me to make, but trying to keep it on the positive end due to the fact that today is the 2-year anniversary since the tragedy. But we're going to try to stay away from that topic of conversation and just remember the good memories of what the Black Mamba brought to the table as far as into your life and how he impacted that. We're gonna go into the comment section. May even open up the phone lines depending on how many likes the video gets. If we get over 150 likes while I'm on the live stream, then I'll open up the phone lines. I want to give the people what they want. So if you guys really want that, smash the like button, and we'll definitely open up the phone lines. Now, before we get into all that, guys, Stanley Johnson is gonna sign a 2-year deal with the Lakers today. And it has a second year option for the team. So that is great news, man. I'm very happy for the kid Stanley Johnson, man. He's a phenomenal defensive player who can sometimes score as well. And I'm so glad we inked him up at least for the rest of the season. If anything doesn't work out in the future, then the Lakers have a player option. But listen, I couldn't be happier for this kid, man. Very happy. What's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Alan, I appreciate you so much, brother. You said thanks, Kobe, for everything you gave us. Absolutely, man. And my thing is, if you guys haven't seen the tribute video I put out this morning, for some reason YouTube disabled the comments, so you guys can't comment on it anymore. But the video is up. It's a tearjerker, so be advised. If you guys are at work or anywhere, I'd suggest waiting till you get home to watch it. But overall, man, I want to start off with, I made a couple of notes because, man, this man, Kobe Bryant, means the world to me, and I really didn't want to miss anything. All his accolades are in my mind and in my heart, but I just wanted to go in sequence of order, and I didn't want to miss any sort of accolades or anything he did in his career that I might have missed. So I just wrote it all down in notes. So don't mind me if I get this kicked off, man. But first of all, I wanted to say Kobe is still clearly with us, man. This morning in the AM, I saw a post that said it has been 2 years since the passing. The Lakers are currently in the 8th seed, and we're 24-24. That is the record. I mean, you really can't make this stuff up, right? And on this particular day, that just so happens to be the record. And it is a 2-year anniversary, 2 for Gigi, 8-24 for Kobe. So I have a feeling everything's going to be all right this season now. After I saw the symbolism, people don't believe in stuff like that. They think it's just coincidence, but trust me, it means a lot, man. I'm very superstitious, and I believe it is a sign from our man Kobe, watching from the heavens up above. So that is the first thing I wanted to say right off the bat. I will be reading comments and all that good stuff. If, like I said, I don't expect too many people in here, so I may not open up the phone lines, but because it's early and most people are working right now. But I will be reading comments and getting your guys' opinion on all of this. Thanks, Big Baby. Love you too, bro. One Hustle, appreciate you, man. He said, rest in peace, Kobe and Gigi. Respect Dan, keeping it pushing. Yeah, let's make this positive, man. And I want to start with some amazing Kobe accolades. I want to start by giving him his flowers, man. And for the casuals that are watching this video, I know mostly everybody here is a diehard Lakers/Kobe fan. But for the casuals, I do want to go ahead and just run down the list of his accolades, because this man was truly spectacular, man, in every sense of the word, every fashion. So let's start off from the beginning. Kobe winning a championship in Lower Merion High School. All right, so he was always a winner from the moment he came into the league. This man already was coming in here with that Mamba mentality, that winner, that killer. His senior year to win a championship, it all started there. Then Kobe was the first guard ever to be drafted by the NBA out of high school. Think about it. All right. We're already making history from the beginning, from the very beginning. All right. From the get. And that was just the beginning, right? Youngest player to start in the NBA at 18 years of age at the time. How he handled the pressure, I have no idea, man. But I'm just so thankful that he had such a sharp mind. This man was brilliant. He wasn't just a basketball player. We'll get to that. But he was truly brilliant. 5-time NBA champion, two-time Olympic gold medalist, slam dunk champion in 97, 18-time All-Star, I mean, league MVP, two-time finals MVP. He made the All-Star, team. What was it? I lost count. But he made the All NBA team, I'm sorry, 15 times, right? I think he was an 18-time All-Star, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't write it down in my notes, but I think it was 18, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. He made the All NBA team 15 times, and then 12-time All Defensive team. Wow! Like, not only was he a killer on offense, but defensively as well. Not to mention off the court, he was an Oscar winner. He was a great investor. I mean, he was going to become a business mogul and an icon. Think about this. All right. He invested in Body Armor, which, by the way, is one of my favorite drinks. Okay. And he turned 6 mil into 400 million for his family, even after his passing. You know, he laid down a great foundation for his family moving forward. This guy was just a visionary. He can see ahead and see where he needed to invest. I mean, it was early when he invested into Body Armor. So he turned 6 into 400 million. Imagine that. Imagine that type of net profit. But again, it all stayed for his family, And I mean, not only that, he had a great heart, man. He was versatile. He loved all cultures and people. I mean, some people don't know this, right? But he loves soccer. Believe it or not, some people don't know this. I don't know how, but if you're a Kobe fan, you knew it. That explains his great footwork as well. I mean, when you grow up loving multiple sports and you apply them, all the skills and tactics and the IQ all to one sport, similar to Steve Nash with the great footwork. Kobe Bryant, man, second to none. He dreamed of actually playing for AC Milan at one point, the Italian soccer club. So this was a man of not just one talent and one dream, but he's somebody who wanted to accomplish so much. I know he would have. And sometimes I ask myself, if he was still here, what would he be doing right now? Right? What would Kobe Bryant be doing right now if he was here with us? Right? But all in all, man, most importantly, he was a great father, a family man, and he always felt like he was a part of my own family. We grew up loving him in the household, everybody, from my mom to my brothers to myself, my nephews. Everybody loved Kobe Bryant in the household. He's literally the only celebrity I ever looked up to, guys, personally, for me. I'm going to speak my piece, and then I'll let you guys say what you want to say. But he's literally the only celebrity I ever looked up to, man, since I never had dad. He truly, psychologically, he filled that role for me, just following his example, his toughness, his mental sharpness, his strength, his true Mamba mentality. And I always admired everything about him. The thing I mostly took from him that I tried to emulate, and the keyword is try, because there will never be another Kobe Bryant, and I'm not comparing myself to this man. But he always put 150% effort into everything he threw himself into, right? Whether that was playing the piano. I mean, this man out here playing Beethoven and shit. Like, it was just amazing. Again, when he made the little short film, when he directed that, when actually he produced it, I think, won an Oscar for that. Again, his business ventures were very successful early on in his post NBA playing career. And I always looked up to that. And I'm always going to be grateful, man. We all are. All of Laker Nation and Kobe fans around the world, even if you're not a Laker fan, always going to be grateful, man, for him being a part of our lives. And even though he's no longer with us, he's always with us, man. I mean, the symbolism, again, for those of you just tuning in, think about it. And I mentioned it earlier in the video. Okay, 2-year anniversary today. We're currently the 8th seed, and our record is 24-24. That doesn't happen by accident, man. He's up in heaven watching from above. He continues to look over this franchise, this fan base, and continues to just bless us, man. This is why I had to make that tribute video. I started working on it last night, and I finished it this morning. But it was hard for me. I made it, and then I tried not to watch it, but I had to, just to check, make sure I edited everything correctly. And it was a tearjerker, man. I couldn't fight back the tears watching that video. So again, if you do check it out, make sure it's on your own time. You're not at work or anywhere. You don't want to be crying in public. But yeah, we're all grateful for the Black Mamba, man. And today, as we remember the tragic day when he left the earth, guys, I want to say, with all those poor people and his daughter, man, I actually want to celebrate the good memories with you guys. and what he meant to all of us. And I'm gonna let the chat express themselves on the subject because that's about what I wanted to say about the Black Mamba. But I could go on and on and on and talk all day. But now the platforms is your guys's, man, and I want to know. Um, my first question for you guys is: how did Kobe Bryant impact your life, and when did you start watching him? I would love to hear some stories, read some out. Again, we don't have enough people to open up the phone lines today, but like I said, at some point we will make that happen again. He said, "Wow, Dan, 2-year deal for Johnson. That is a great deal, by the way. I'm very proud of him. He earned every single penny, and hopefully we do keep him next year as well." He said he was a game changer. His love for his family was special. It truly was, man. And not only for his family, but for Laker Nation. Like he truly knew we were a part of family. And the thing that strikes me the most, and I'm not sure if I'll ever find another player I can root for the way I rooted for Kobe, was that he was an extension of the fan base. Meaning we are so passionate and we want to win every game, and he is the same way. I mean, this man was a no-nonsense player. I always, what comes to memory is when he went to Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy shows him the clip because Jimmy's a troll, man. I love Jimmy. He's always baiting stuff. And he shows him the clip of Nick Young and Jordan Hill, and I'm not sure if it was Jordan Clarkson. I already forgot. They were out here celebrating a victory after they were on a losing streak, and Kobe didn't even crack a smile, man. He truly, he was bothered by that, just like all of us Laker fans were. And so he was truly an extension of the way we felt here at home and the passion we had here, yelling and punching the air and screaming and excitement and tears. He was an extension of that on the court. He was that. He was the heart and soul, Los Angeles, of the Lakers franchise and really of the NBA, because even those that hated him, they respected his passion and his game and his effort and the way he put himself 150% at all times. I mean, 81 points. Who does that, man? Till today, it has not been accomplished. Even in the stat pat era of today, this has not been accomplished. Outside of Wilt Chamberlain back in the 60s, scoring 100, Kobe Bryant 81 to me was more impressive because of the difficulty, the fact that we were trailing and he was on a team that needed him to do that. It was not a stat padding game. It was we are trailing by 20 at one point to the Toronto Raptors, and I'm gonna do everything and will my team to win. And I'm pretty sure he didn't probably even know he had 81 points by the end of that game till the crowd started chanting and they showed it up on the big board. So it's stuff like that I hold near and dear, not to mention the 60-point game at the very end of his career at his goodbye game with all that pressure, struggling early in the game and just continuing to be just the sharp killer that he truly was, man. So I just have infinite amount of memories of sheer joy. My boy Jibs says, my greatest Kobe and Lakers memory is them winning the chip in 2010 against the Celtics. You could just tell he wanted to beat them so bad. One of my favorite finals ever. That's another great memory, man. That game right there, guys. I don't know why I ever doubted Kobe Bryant, but he was struggling that game. And I was like, oh man, if Kobe can't get it going, they're getting all the calls going their way, and we're already trailing by double digits. I was hoping we didn't lose because I never lose hope, but I was already starting to feel really grim about it. And the beautiful thing about him is that even when his shot wasn't falling, his effort was there. He was getting a second chance rebounds. He was making passes. He was defending his heart out. Like he did everything he could. And eventually he knocked down the big free throws and shots down the stretch in the fourth quarter. Shout out to Meta World Peace for that big three, man. I'll never forget it. Sasha Vujicic for the clutch free throws. Very, very beautiful memory of mine as well. I didn't have a Laker banner at the time. I was more broke, but I took off my jersey. I was shirtless out there, man, in the complex just cheering. And I'll never forget all the fans came outside. It was 2-story apartments. From the top, they had their banners and they were all cheering, man. It was like our own little parade here in the apartment complex. So, oh, man, it just, again, Kobe Bryant was the pillar of a lot of my joys growing up, a lot of my happiness. I still remember in elementary school shit talking all of my colleagues because there was, believe it or not, a lot of confused children that were fans of like Kevin Garnett on the Timberwolves or any other superstar, which is fine. It's their but they would always trash talking me, talking about their team was going to beat mine, and I was like, we got Kobe, man. Your team's not gonna beat ours. Every night I felt like I was a very cocky kid, and most of the times I would be right, which turned a lot of my friendships into rivalries at the time. But eventually friendships again, and we would really go back and forth. Just and I always felt confident and cocky, man. I was a very cocky kid because of Kobe Bryant. That confidence he was showing really rubbed off on me as well. So I know I probably rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, just bragging about my Lakers at the time, and but I was glad to be right a lot of the time, man. Because I remember when he won against Boston, and that's when I became a Kobe fan and a Lakers fan. Everybody has the origin story, and I love hearing it, man. That's great. So that would be 2010 for you, right? Nice. He said, my greatest memory and moment is when he had the 60-point game in that farewell that had me super emotional for everything he's done for us. You know what, man? Me and my brother were here watching it together, and we were trying to fight back tears because it's always a little awkward when two men cry in the same room. Uh, but yeah, we shed a tear as well, man. I think all the real ones cried, man, out there, everybody out there. And a funny story about that game, the 60-point game, is that when I met my girlfriend, Kobe had already torn his Achilles, so he wasn't the same player he was before. And I don't think she could understand why I was so obsessed with Kobe Bryant at the time. I would always rave about him. And sometimes, she would roll her eyes at me, but she understood my passion and always respected it. And that game, when he scored 60 points, she looked to me, she was amazed, at his age, last game with all that pressure, that even struggling early, that he was able to get it going late and one more comeback. That's the beautiful thing. People always talk about the 60 points, but they forget we were trailing to the Jazz. And the Lakers weren't playing that great. And Kobe Bryant hit some clutch go-ahead buckets one last time. And I look at my girlfriend and I say, you see, baby, this is why I love Kobe. You got to experience finally a glimpse of all the clutch moments he brought to us when he was in his prime. This was just a glimpse. And she was like, wow, that was amazing. And I kind of see what you meant. I think that was the only game she was ever on edge when Kobe Bryant was playing, because like I said, I met her already when he had torn his Achilles, so she didn't believe. I'm not sure if she didn't believe me or she just had to see it to believe it, of his greatness, right? So I think that was the moment she realized that my fan for my fandom for Kobe Bryant was warranted, right? I was validated from that point on, man. You see, yo, Dan, what's up, my brother? Mambo forever. Absolutely, man. We're here just celebrating. We're celebrating his life today, man. We don't want to be sad about it. But if you do want to watch a beautiful video, go ahead and check out my tribute video I dropped this morning. He said, I remember I went with my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, to watch him play in person for the first time against Utah. Seeing him in person was easily the best moment of my life. Miss you, Kobe. Yeah, if you never got to see Kobe Bryant in person, then I feel bad for you. But I was actually blessed enough to go see him once during preseason and once during the regular season versus the Portland Trail Blazers. At Staples, and it was just the way he glided out there. And there was something so beautiful about his jumper. It was so graceful, right? Like, this man had the perfect jump shot. Have I ever seen one? And I mean jump shot, because he really elevated and faded on most of his shots. And I love that for him, man. I always wondered how he always landed on his feet, because he was literally laying back in the air. And that release, that form, I mean, he really was the pillar of a generation. I mean, who didn't? Growing up, I said it all the time. I'm sure a lot of you guys did as well. Say Kobe every time you knock down a shot on your boy's face, and he was talking smack. I'd be like, Kobe, and I would talk smack right back, but I would back it up, right? And he was just, man, he was so inspirational. He was the Michael Jordan of our era. But for me, he is always going to be my GOAT, because I see this man do things that Michael Jordan never did. Just like Michael Jordan did things Kobe never did, I also saw Kobe Bryant hit a degree of difficulty of shots that I never seen Michael Jordan hit. Now, I will say this. Michael Jordan was more athletic than Kobe, but Kobe's footwork to me was better, and his shot making and taking and making ability. Difficult shot taking and making ability and clutch factor for me, I'll take Kobe, man. And it's not me being biased. I got to witness the tail end of Jordan's career, but I always saw old clips and videos, and he was spectacular. I take nothing away from him, because you don't have to put greatness down to elevate other greatness. But for me, for my personal preference, Kobe's shot making abilities. I mean, those shots he would hit. I'm talking about he would pivot one way, then the other way, and fade away, in the corner, three ball pocket with two defenders over him. I'm talking pump fake somebody, draw him up in the air, and I don't even know how he got the strength after getting hit. Somebody's full weight on you, how he got the strength to get that 4-point play. I'm talking, Portland Trail Blazers, young version of Kobe. Lakers were about to get eliminated from playoff contention. Kobe Bryant hit two of the clutchest buckets I've ever seen. I'm talking in the playoffs, teardrop over Amari Stoudemire, and who else remembers what centers they had, but the teardrop that touched the heavens and fell down to force overtime off of that Smush Parker steal. I'm talking that my favorite shot of his career, that still brings me jitters when I hear Mike Breen's voice in my head. Off of Luke Walton. Who would have thought Luke Walton would grab a rebound? Luke Walton grabs the rebound, outlets it out to Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant gets to one of his favorite spots on the court, which is around the elbow of the free throw line, fades away over stinking Raja Bell, dirty Kobe stopper wannabe Raja Bell, and just drills it in his face to sink the hearts. I'll still remember Tim Thomas putting his arms on his hips, and he couldn't believe Kobe Bryant just to go up 3-1 with Kwame Brown, Smush Parker, and Luke Walton on our team. Again, just a plethora of beautiful memories from my GOAT, Kobe Bryant, from our GOAT, that I'm just always going to cherish for the rest of my life. And although I know we'll never see another Kobe Bryant, I dream of the day that the Lakers acquire another killer. And what I mean by this is, no, I'm not talking about LeBron not being a killer, but I'm talking about a killer in his prime. Okay, a killer that maybe we can groom from a young age and we watch him grow all over again, similar to Kobe Bryant. I dream of that day. I don't know if it'll ever happen again or when it'll ever happen again. But one thing I do know is that the Lakers have been blessed to have just insanely magical talent come through here. I'm talking Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, Shaquille O'Neal, Pau Gasol, a big game James Worthy. I'm talking just LeBron James. The list just never ends, man. And I can't wait to the next moment. But enough of me. He said, I hope you guys are doing okay today. I love Kobe. He was my hero. He was an inspiration to me. He said, I want to strive for success as he did. Absolutely, man. All of us echo your sentiments, brother. All of us. And it is a sad time. I'm trying to keep it together today. But it's also bittersweet to remember all those beautiful memories, man, of that Kobe blessed us with. The city of Los Angeles, and not just on the court, off the court as well. I mean, I still go back and watch some of his post-game interviews at times, man. They're so inspirational. Just to pick his brain, you have to learn from the greats. Kobe was the Mozart of basketball, if that makes any sense. He was the Picasso of the hardwood. He was the Bruce Lee of his art and craft. He was the Michael Jackson of his flow and his game. I mean, he was just sweet to watch. It was poetry in motion, and we had him for 20 whole years. Think about that, 20 whole years. What a blessing, truly. He said, I remember Ronaldinho told Kobe that Messi will be the greatest soccer player of all time. I mean, he was not wrong. He said, you a diehard LeBron fan. He said, Reggie, you a diehard LeBron fan. We Laker fans are diehard Kobe fans. Exactly. That's true. If you've been here from the beginning, before Kobe, during Kobe, and after Kobe, you're a diehard Laker fan, man. If you just joined when LeBron joined, then I just hope you respected Kobe Bryant and you understood what he meant, not just to the city, but to the world. We're talking about an icon. We're talking about a national treasure. Only two celebrity deaths hit me hard sometimes. Like Bob Saget recently passed, God rest his soul. Obviously, there's been many, but the two that hit me the hardest in my lifetime was Michael Jackson first, because I grew up on Michael Jackson. Who did it? And but the one that hit me the hardest times 10. Like if what I felt with Michael Jackson, I felt it times probably 100 with Kobe Bryant. Those are the two celebrity deaths that just hit me hard. He said, "Yo, not only are the Lakers the A seed with the record of 24-24, but we got that 24th win. AD returns and he plays 24 minutes, 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Wow, I'm just saying, people don't believe in this. They think it's a coincidence, man. But I myself personally, and yeah, I myself personally am a firm believer in you know, I am what would you call it, man? What would you call it? I guess what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm sorry, I'm trying to get a grip of myself today. The word I'm looking for here is, I guess you can say, mm, I believe in stuff like this. All right, I'm at a loss of words, but I truly am. I wouldn't say conspiracy theorist, but um, I believe in certain things. So he said, "What do you mean? I watched Kobe growing up." Oh, nobody's attacking you, Reggie. I'm just saying anybody who's a LeBron fan, I just hope you appreciated Kobe as well, just like we appreciate LeBron. Nobody cares about the WNBA though. I do. I care about the WNBA, man. I'm actually a Sparks fan. A lot of people don't know that. I'm a Sparks fan. Now I'm a casual. I'll admit I don't know everybody's names on the team and everything. But when Lisa Leslie was there, Candace Parker, um, all of them, I watched for sure. He said my favorite memory on Kobe Bryant was him scoring 81 points. I mean, you can't go wrong with any memory. That memory. I remember my brother was on the phone talking to somebody, I don't remember who, and we were like kind of side languaging each other, like signaling, like, "Whoa, he's going off." Um, and at that point, like early in the game, we were down by 20, and I remember telling my brother, "He Kobe has that fire in his eye. He's on fire, man. He's gonna bring us back. Watch." Not only did he bring us back, but he dropped 81. And by the end of by the fourth quarter, my brother had to hang up on his important call just to watch the end of the fourth quarter. I mean, he was watching the whole game, but to truly pay attention, and we turned the volume on the TV all the way up. It's like we were there, man. And I remember just jumping around and hugging for this record, man. It was a beautiful thing, man. I have great memories of watching these games with my brothers, my mom. Oh my goodness, it's just cherish. So I cherish it so much. Yeah, 24 was my number when I played Pop Warner football. That's crazy. It's funny. The year Kobe passed, remember I showed you guys the receipt. I went to go buy some supplies to throw a little party with a couple of friends and family here for the championship games for the finals. And the receipt, it came out to 81-24. And I couldn't believe it. I took a picture and I showed you guys. And not only that, my mailbox is actually number 81. And it's been that for all the years I've lived here, even before Kobe retired. So it's crazy to think that, again, yes, superstitious. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word. I had a brain fart just now, but yeah, superstitious is the word I'm looking for. I am very superstitious, man. Because a lot of things that have happened in my life have been very symbolic, and I realize, like, when I follow my gut based off of these superstitions, I reap the rewards, and it comes to fruition. Symbolism is the word, I think, Dan. Yeah, there's a lot of symbolism that has revolved around my life that involves the Lakers. Like I said, my mailbox 81, my receipt that day was 81-24, and stuff like that. It just so happens. He said, I remember the first time I seen Kobe play. To this day, him and LeBron are the only NBA players uh, jerseys I've had. That's awesome, man. You couldn't have chose any better two jerseys. He said, what do you think about Russ, THT, and Wall for Eric Gordon? Russ, THT, and Wall for Eric Gordon. For Wall and Eric Gordon. I'd probably consider that, as long as there's no first round picks attached to it. But I much prefer the big man. And again, Christian Wood. Christian Wood is his name. I almost forgot. He said, I'm a Laker fan, but I really never wanted LeBron to come here. I don't know why I still feel that way. It just feels wrong. I mean, it feels wrong to you, brother, because I feel like you don't want to let go of the memories, but you don't have to let go of the memories. We can add memories, and it doesn't feel wrong to me, and it'll never feel wrong to me, because historically the Lakers have always acquired the top talents in this league. I mean, people forget that, most of the players aren't, like Kobe. We have such a high standard, but most of the players aren't basically brought in and groomed till the end of the careers as Lakers. I mean, I could think of a few, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson come to mind right off the top. But most of these other ones, man, have been adopted, and that's fine. I mean, Shaquille O'Neal was adopted. We got him from Orlando. It's not like we drafted him day one and then he ended up leaving later on in his career. So we were blessed to watch Kobe, and we shouldn't hold everybody else to that standard because we've had plenty of adopted superstars that became part of the family. Will Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from Milwaukee. He was a Milwaukee Buck first, but it didn't feel weird at the time. Trust me, because winning just makes you such a part of the culture and such a part of the Laker galore. And LeBron James has already won. He's forever engraved in Lakers galore. He's always going to be a part of the family, whether you like it or not. So it's much better, man, if people just stop being negative on LeBron James. Kobe Bryant, our own idol, embraced him. I embraced him from day one. He became a part of the family. That should be the Lakers rule, man. It always has been for me and my family. It should be a part of the global Lakers rule. Listen, I hate Patrick Beverly, but if he became a part of the Lakers and actually helped us, he was a crucial part. Let's say he played like an Alex Caruso role and helped us win a championship, all would be forgiven and maybe even beloved. The ultimate example of that is Rajon Rondo. The legend of Rondo showed up for the Lakers and he became playoff Rondo, and he is now forever loved by Laker fans. So why can't we love LeBron James? I mean, I love LeBron James. Of course, there's levels to it. I love Kobe more because we grew up on him, but you still have to respect LeBron. And even if you don't love him, at least respect him. One thing I can't agree with, though, with your whole statement, the only thing I can't agree is the fact that you say it doesn't feel right. Because historically, like I said, we've always adopted great superstars and they've always become a part of the family, especially when they lead these teams to championships. That's what it's all about, right? And my boy Jordan says, yeah, I respect LeBron to the fullest, but he's definitely a GOAT, just not compared to the greatest of all time in Kobe. Well, I mean, listen, all of that is going to be subjective, right? At the end of the day, opinion is just opinions, right? That what you just mentioned, that's not a fact. It's an opinion because statistically wise, if LeBron gets to number 5, clearly he'll be up there. To me, he's already up there in a lot of people's minds, which is fine with me because he truly is spectacular. He has broken all kinds of records. I won't be shocked if he ends up at the top of most of these. I'm talking scoring, the greatest scorer of all time, greatest assist leader. I mean, he's going to end up breaking a lot of this stuff. That's only a tribute to his greatness, right? But he's already in the conversation, man. We can't exclude him. That's just an opinion, Jordan Smith. And I respect anybody's opinion. But yeah, he said Bron looked up to Kobe like a brother, and I wished that I would have had a chance to see the two meet up in the finals. You know what I would have loved, Dontario? In 2010, LeBron James left in free agency. We didn't have cap space. But I would have loved if somehow we would have created it, and we would have created the greatest 1-2 punch of all time in LeBron James and Kobe, because I think their games really complemented each other. And if that would have happened, nobody in the world, not even the diehard Kobe fans that don't like LeBron, would have ever objected. That everybody knows that. I mean, super teams happen anyway. Why not have the ultimate team? And that would have been LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and potentially Powell. Oh my God, I would have did any. I would have gave up my left arm to see that in their primes, before he tore his Achilles. And maybe he wouldn't have torn his Achilles because LeBron would have did a lot of the heavy lifting. Who knows? But I always ponder and wish things would have been a little bit different towards the end of Kobe's career. But we'll never know. We can only speculate. We can only imagine. Yeah, thanks for sharing the Kobe video, fam. It's my pleasure, guys. You guys don't have to thank me. Thank you guys for showing support, smashing the like button, and giving that video views because, I don't get paid for those videos. I don't monetize those. Wherever I get the clips from, whether they were ESPN or Fox, they monetize them. They actually disabled the comment section, so I don't have no control over that. I would have loved to see you guys interact and just remember Kobe in the comment section, but unfortunately, the comments in that were disabled. But however, you can still leave your comments on another video, and I'll know what you guys are talking about. Do you think the Lakers will make a big trade? It looks like a small trade. I don't know, but like I said, I've been saying this. I want the Lakers just to make a trade that helps this team. Again, I'm very happy with the Stanley Johnson signing. So congratulations to him. If you guys are just tuning in, Stanley Johnson, the Lakers inked him for 2 years with a second-year team option. So very well earned, man, and he's somebody who's going to help us. I can't wait to see what he can do in the playoffs, if and when we get there, which we should. But listen, today's a very special day, man. Today we remember Kobe Bryant. And all his great memories. So I'm gonna continue reading these comments on Kobe because I'm truly enjoying your guys, picking your guys' brain on this and just getting your guys' opinion. He said LeBron and Kobe on the same team would have more rings than Jordan and Pippen. Can you imagine that, Jordan Smith? That would have been a sight for sore eyes, man. That would have been beautiful to watch. And I don't think Kobe would have retired when he did. He probably would have went to 22 seasons. Who knows? Um, but again, LeBron would have definitely helped Kobe lift a lot of that, carry a lot of that heavy lifting, and it's unfortunate that we never got to see that. So he said Kobe and Diego Maradona were my two heartbreaking deaths. Oh, I feel you, man. But I'm too young. I didn't grow up on Diego Maradona, but I know his greatness, right? Will AD get his jersey retired? R.I.P. Kobe. It's still early to tell. I think if he's a part of one more championship, he definitely deserves it. Especially if he's a big pillar like he was in the bubble. As of if he ends up just with one championship with the Lakers, I don't know that they will. Um, but LeBron James for sure will get his Kobe retired because he was the best player for us, and he during that championship run, and he really was the reason that we were able to even recruit a lot of these free agents. So he said, "Great stuff, Dan. We needed this." I know, man. I needed this too. Trust me, man. I was feeling depressed a little bit earlier in the morning. My girl was trying to comfort me. So I love her, per usual, trying to comfort me. But I needed this too. I needed a vent, get out here and talk with you guys, man. It always feels good. My boy Nelson says, "Hey, my brother, what's your name on Twitter? So I can follow you there since I don't be on Instagram like that now." And Anthony Davis came back. What do you think about the Lakers' chances? I think the Lakers are one move away or two moves away from actually becoming real contenders, but they have to be the right moves, and the coaching staff has to get with the program. And by the way, my information is right here below on right here on the screen. You can see it has my Cash App, my Instagram, and also my Twitter on there. So as you can see, my Twitter is at Dan the Lakers fan, just like you see it on the screen, brother. Go ahead and add me, and it'll be a good follow. Jenny Rivera was also heartbreaking. Oh yeah, it was definitely. I remember when that happened. That plane accident. I hate it when anybody's life gets taken prematurely. Not just celebrities, but yeah. I think we still need a young athletic big AD availability insurance. I agree with Ashley. I would love a young athletic big, or even just a serviceable role player. He doesn't have to be too young. Like if they were like if a team was to cut like an Ed Davis type player or somebody like that, I would, if I'm the Lakers, I'm jumping on that. Anybody who can help anchor, protect the rim, do some of the dirty work down low would be huge. Now, if they could floor space like Kevin Love, that would be even better for me personally. But that's not the athletic big Ashley was talking about. But yes, it's going to be very interesting to see moving forward with the Lakers what we end up accomplishing. Will we make a trade? Will we sign somebody via free agency off the buyout market, or will the coaching staff persist with their small ball BS, crap that I despise? I don't know what to tell you guys. My boy said Willie Cauley-Stein will be a good signing. I like him, and I think he can get his stuff together because sometimes he has off the court antics and stuff. But I do like his talent for sure. And if we utilize him properly, maybe he could be our poor man's JaVale McGee. Who knows? He said if Kobe had CP3, it would have been insane. Again, I'm still upset about that because even though I don't like Chris Paul now, I really used to like him back then when he was in New Orleans. And Kobe Bryant, man, he played with some amazing guards. Okay, I'm not no disrespect to Derek Fisher or Ron Harper or any of them. I love them all as role players, but he never played with somebody of the skill set and talent of a Chris Paul out, in the perimeter alongside somebody like that. Never. He played with some amazing bigs, but Kobe was always the one out there in the perimeter doing the heavy lifting and putting the team on his back when necessary. It would have been a God-given gift to have a Chris Paul out there, or like I mentioned, a LeBron James type player. Oh my goodness, I think Kobe Bryant would have just clearly just focused on scoring and being the killer that he was and moving off the ball. He was great at moving off the ball. People forget that. Kobe Bryant was a killer no matter where he was on the court, whether it was half court, whether it was a three-point line, or whether it was off the ball, catch and shoot. I mean, he could do it all. No weaknesses offensively or defensively. You know, you talk about an impeccable player, man. He said, yes, Willie would be good, but I think he's going through stuff. Yeah. So who knows? It is kind of weird to me that nobody's picked him up yet. So who knows? But we'll see. I mean, there's options for there's gonna be options at the trade deadline, the buyout market, and all that. We're gonna have options. I just hope we have open roster spots. So I would definitely look to you know relinquish DeAndre Jordan and Kent Bazemore because those guys, we gotta remove them off the team somehow, buy them out or trade them away, something. Hey Dan, what do you think about THT Monk and a first for Ross and Mo Bamba? THT Monk and a first for Ross and Mo Bamba. I would do it just because you have Mo Bamba and he's been actually spacing the floor and protecting the rim. So he would have instantly add another threat that can also space the floor, which would be great. And I've always liked Terrence Ross. Terrence Ross and Malik Monk alongside LeBron James and AD would be wreaking havoc out on the court together. The floor spacing, playmaking, and shot creating abilities of all those players. Ooh, pick your poison if you're guarding the Lakers that night. He said Kobe loved it when we picked up AD. Of course, because Kobe knew a championship was coming. He knew it. He knew it. I think Kobe trusts Rob Pelinka, and so should we. I know he made a mistake of trading for Russell Westbrook, but to me, again, that's strike one to me. Dan, you don't like Chris Paul? I don't like him. He's a very dirty player. He's become that ever since he went to the Clippers. Even last year in the playoffs, he was trying to remove LeBron James' arm from a socket. He tends to play dirty, especially when he's losing. I hate that, guys. I don't like dirty players. I don't. There's plenty in the league, actually, that I despise. But yeah, Chris Paul is a flopping crybaby. He's very skilled. He's still a beast, even at his age. He has aged really well basketball wise. He's still very effective, and he has elevated that Suns team to another level. But I just don't like his personality. I think he's a crybaby. I think he's always moping. He's always bitching about something. And Devin Booker is the same. So they're like a match made in heaven, So this is why, even though they're very skilled and I respect their talent, I don't like those kind of players personally. But that's just a personal opinion. That doesn't mean you can't like them or you can't root for them or whatever. It's up to you, man. Monk 4-year deal next. Oh yeah, that to me has to be a priority. How we can lock up Malik Monk long term. This guy he's a God gift, man. God-given gift from the heavens up above. And when players like that fall on your lap, you have to make sure you secure that because we've struggled to find consistent guards. As good as KCP was defensively, offensively, he was always hit or miss every night. He could either drop 2 points on 1 for 8, or he could drop 20 points if he was going off. So Malik Monk has been the most consistent guard we've had in a while. He said yes. He said finally we signed Stanley the Bulldog Johnson. He deserved that. I mean, you guys asked me last night what I thought we were going to do with Stanley Johnson, and I said I think we'll sign him. I think we will. And we did. So I'm not surprised at all, but I am happy for him, and I'm happy for us because we definitely get a dog. We get somebody that should have been in the league the whole time and for some reason wasn't because the rest of the league failed to realize his value, which is in defense. So Dan, what was your reaction when the Lakers signed Lil Deng to that contract? Deng and Mozgov had me pissed, man. I was fuming. And I don't remember if I had the channel at the time or not. But if I had the channel, I'm sure I came on here to trash Rob Pelinka for that. Not Rob Pelinka, I'm sorry, Mitch Kupchak. Listen, this guy was a horse race guy. He really should have never been in charge of personnel. I'm so happy that Jerry Buss was intelligent enough to let Jeannie Buss take charge of the whole operation and make all the decisions, because if we'd be in real trouble had it been Jim Buss, Jim Buss who was left in charge. That's all I got to say about that. This guy made questionable mistake after questionable mistake. Nobody respected his basketball acumen. He was hiring random friends and people he knew off the streets. And I said it at the time. I remember saying, as long as we have, Mitch Kupchak, and because Mitch Kupchak became his puppet, he was a yes man. So he wasn't even able to do his job properly at the time. And as long as we have, at the time, what I was calling Jim Dumbass, not Jim Buss, Jim Dumbass. That's how bad it got. I said, as long as we have these guys, we ain't going nowhere. We have to get rid of them before our franchise starts turning around. And sure enough, I celebrated the moment we acquired Magic Johnson because I knew that was the beginning of turning it around. So everything happens for a reason. And right now, I feel like in order to turn it around, we need moves. All right. I don't know where they're going to come from or how they're going to come, but we need moves. And as happy as I am about Anthony Davis, we can't rest on that at all. So my boy Brackett says, DTLF, I'm a Pelicans fan. Rest in peace, Kobe and Gigi. I really miss AD. I feel you, bro. I feel you, man. Listen, I'll say this. I'll say this about Anthony Davis, man. We are blessed to have him. Some people regret the trade. I don't know why. None of the players we traded away have won anything at all or even come close. So, yeah, I don't know why people regret the trade. And look, you got Brackett over here missing Anthony Davis, even though some casuals trash him. So that tells you everything you need to know, man. Anthony Davis, we're blessed to have him. I hope he continues to play well, especially defensively. And I think he can be a really, bright part of our future moving forward. Mooley, I appreciate you, bro. You the GOAT, man. I appreciate you, bro. He said, we need Magic Johnson back. I don't think that'll ever happen. They bumped heads with the front office with Kurt Rambis and all these guys. He was talking about some snakes. I think we know who he was talking about. Kurt Rambis and all these guys. I really, as much as I love Jeannie, I think her only blemish is the fact that she gets too attached to friendships. Similar to Jim, but she's much more intelligent. She allows Rob to do his thing. But Kurt Rambis should not be in the locker room telling anybody what to do because Kurt Rambis, you see what I mean? Like, it shouldn't always be business with pleasure. I know he's a part of the Lakers family and a great part of championship runs as a role player back in the day, but he really hasn't proven himself as far as basketball knowledge and basketball decisions go, and in the past he's done some questionable things. So I would just hope if we can cut ties with these type of folks, because I feel like they bring down the organization little by little. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's how I feel, man, about that whole thing. He said, we definitely need to keep moving forward, improve on defense, and continue to grow on offense. Oh, yeah, Steven, absolutely. We can't rest on our laurels. Like, that's not going to get us anywhere. In the words of the late, great Black Mamba, job not finished, job's not done. Is job done? No. So job not finished. We got to keep going. We got to keep pushing forward. This team is nowhere near the contender I imagined it to be to start season. So we got a ways to go. All right. On the court, off the court, front office move, all of that. Trades, rotations. We got to get those right. Players got to step up. Everything. The whole enchilada, man. My boy said Kurt has no right to be in their locker room. I'm saying, Jordan, like, it really frustrates me. And this historically, we've struggled with this ever since Jerry, the Dr. Buss passed away. Ever since then, I feel like the younger siblings have struggled to get, everything in order. And at one point, we were being labeled as toxic by Stephen A. Smith and a lot of reporters out there, a lot of TV personalities. And I guess free agents were believing it because they wouldn't even give us meetings. But they were fools because they all missed out. LaMarcus Aldridge missed out. Now he's over there rotting away in Brooklyn. He came back from retiring one time already. He went to San Antonio. That didn't work out. I bet you he wishes he would have gave us a meeting at the time. And we still had Kobe. Carmelo Anthony, he passed up a lot of prime basketball. He could have been prime Carmelo at the end of his prime, of course, because he had already left New York, and New York, I think, was the end of his prime. But he became a journeyman because he didn't choose the Lakers. These were all mistakes. Even players that left us like Ramon Sessions and Trevor Ariza became journeymen, and some are even out of the league because the Lakers at the time gave them the biggest spotlight and gave them more value. And when they went elsewhere, they were just buried at the end of benches and moved around. So I think anybody who ever doubts this Lakers organization and says stupid things like the Lakers are nothing without LeBron, like we've been something before LeBron. Yes, we struggled, and I thank him for putting us back on the map, but we're always going to be on the map. We're the Lakers. That's something you have to understand. Sooner or later, we'll get it right. We have all the cachet. The history is on our side. And, the history always repeats itself. That's something I've always told the haters when they tried kicking us while we were down. So That's the beautiful thing about being a Laker fan, that even if we struggle for a year or two or three or four, eventually we'll get it back on track and we'll put the fear of God in everybody. Robert says, good question for you, Dan. I was thinking about this today. Excuse me. He said, what do you think about the future? Because we're old right now. So we blow this team up or wait? That's going to be on the front office. But I do want us to go all the way in. That is my preference. And that means trading THT and a first round pick for a really good player that fits his team schemes moving forward. Or it means going all the way out, which means starting the rebuild. I don't want to be a in the middle of the road team, because that only takes longer to get to where you want to be, right? I don't want to be a pretender, none of this. So appreciate the question, man. But I think it's going to depend on what Rob Pelinka does in two moments, all right? During this trade deadline, and if worst case scenario, he can't do nothing here or the buyout market, then we're going to have to look to the summer to see what he does to get things back on track, because I don't want to be halfway in, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. No, 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 no. When you're the Lakers, you go all the way in, or you start the rebuild. That way you can get back to the point where you can go all the way in again. So, he said, Dan, ¿vas a hacer mañana una game reaction como hiciste contra los Celtics? Debería de ser más contenido así. The game reactions nos gusta. I appreciate that, Roses. He said if I was going to do a live game reaction tomorrow, like I did during the Celtics earlier in the season, and I told you guys I'm willing to do anything you guys want, so far as you guys show me the support. Get this video up to I'd say 300 likes, and I will tomorrow. I will do that. I'll do a live in-game reaction instead of pregame and postgame, if that's what you guys want. Other than that, if you guys don't really want that, then I will continue with my normal. I'll continue with my normal daily routine of pregame and postgame, and maybe even halftime report. But again, I let success be my guide. If you guys get this video at least at 300 likes, then yeah, I'll probably do. And also drop it in the comment section if you guys want me to do a live in-game reaction tomorrow. I will definitely do that for you guys. I'll do anything for you guys, man. Anything for the people. He said, when will we have a max salary money to sign a max player? Probably, most likely, but who knows, because the situation could change via trade, future signings. Anything can change from here to 2023, but probably the summer of 2023. He said, what's up, Dan? Rest in peace to Kobe. It's been 2 years. Yeah, Arthur, man, if you're just tuning in right now, brother, I suggest you rewind this video, because we made a lot of great points, told a couple of stories, and definitely check out my tribute video, man. Do that. He said, LOL, Stafford's wife is giving away tickets free to Rams fans. Love it. Love it. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. We're the home team, so we should definitely reap the rewards of that. I just hope that those Rams fans don't snake her out, turn around and sell them. That would piss me off. He said, what up, fam? Working right now? Don't tell no one. Don't get fired, brother. Don't get fired. He said, I can't talk about Kobe, too emotional. Thank you for showing love to Kobe. I can't take it. Hey, listen, I understand, Vincent. Everybody has their own timeline. I'm trying to be strong, but trust me, man, this whole topic of conversation is definitely a tearjerker. But I try my best to be strong, man. I think the way LeBron play is hurting the Lakers, just ISO ball. Really? Because I think we'd be lost without him taking over, to be honest with you, because in reality, it's not just the way LeBron's playing, it's the offensive schemes. We don't really have much of a half-court offense. So I think LeBron's doing his best to get everybody involved and to get his own. And at times, teammates don't have it going. He's made plenty of passes that end up in bricks, and that's when he has to take over. So I think LeBron James is similar to Kobe in the sense that he's going to get criticized whether he plays good or bad. If he plays amazing and drops 30, people will say, oh, too much ISO ball, stat padding. That's just being a hater, because he's playing amazing at 37. You can't ask for more. Now, if he was, averaging more assists but less points, and people would start saying, oh, Father Time's undefeated, he's slowing down. So either way, people are going to look to hate, man. I say just, buckle up, enjoy the ride, and just show love to the GOATs, man, because they're not here forever. That's one thing losing Kobe Bryant has taught me. They're not here forever, man. They're not. The sub DTLF just want to say, bro, good luck to your Rams. As a Niners fan, can't wait. I'm from the Bay Area. Born and raised, I support all my Bay Area teams, and RIP Kobe the GOAT. Man, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate all the classiness you 49ers fans have shown me, man. So I will return that. I usually talk smack around this time of the year, but I will return that, man, up until game day. Game day, you know, Savage Dan is going to come out. And of course, I'm just an emotional fan, so I'm going to be rooting for my team. But thank you, man. I wish you the best as of now for your team as well. And I respect the loyalty, man. And like I said, no matter who wins or loses, Cali will be well represented. That's the only upside to this, you know. Um, my boy said, been following the NBA for a long time. Never really had a team because Pittsburgh doesn't have a team, but I follow you because you're like me and love basketball. You know what, Stephen Williams? Truly appreciate it, man. And this is an argument. I was actually defending 49ers fans earlier this week on Twitter because there were some San Francisco natives that were saying they don't want LA fans to be 49er fans. Go back to your city. It's weird that you guys like the 49ers, but you hate the Giants and you guys are traitors and this and this and that. Listen, there's no rule against who you cheer for or what city you're from. It is cool when you're loyal to your own city. That's cool. But I mean, listen, as long as you're not a bandwagon fan or a fair weather fan, I respect it, man. That's all it is. Whether you cheer for the same team I do or a different team, um, as long as you're not a Clipper fan, of course, that's the exception because Clipper fans are just something else. All right, but I'm not here to be negative. All I'm saying is, it's all about loyalty, man. And I'm proud to say I've been a diehard Rams fan for 6 years now. It's 2022. Time flies. I can't believe 6 years ago they landed here in Los Angeles and made my dreams come true. I always used to tell my family, man, I like football, but I'll love football when LA has a team of our own that I can buy their gear, represent, go to the games, and just watch every game closely, man. And it's been a dream come true. Not only did we get a team, but we got one of the best teams in the league in the Rams. At the time we were up and coming, had a lot of young talent, but they have cashed in and traded a lot of that young talent for actual veteran superstars and guys that get the job done. So I'm just proud of the Rams, man, living up to the hype here in Los Angeles. There's a lot of pressure. Shout out Matthew Stafford, man, living up to the hype, because there was a lot of question marks. Can he get it done? He's never won in the playoffs. But he finally comes to a good team, and he's proven all the naysayers wrong. And even me, I was a little bit skeptical about Matt. I said, let's see. I like his arm strength. I like his IQ. I like his toughness. But let's see what he does under pressure. And he has absolutely exceeded all my expectations. So I'm very proud of Matthew Stafford. He is the leader we needed. And if we would have had this leader in our last Super Bowl appearance instead of Jared Goff, we would have been champions. So one more to go before we get back to the Super Bowl. And may the best team win, man. That's all I got to say. He said, LOL, facts. I got dissed before for being a Niners fan and a Lakers fan instead of being a Warriors fan before. Yeah, listen, people try to bully people to thinking how they want to think. There's no written rules in sports. You can cheer. I don't care if you're a Lakers fan and then in football you go and you like the Seattle Seahawks or the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Niners, because what people have to understand is that we didn't have a team here in Cali forever. All right, because they were ripped away from us. All right, and so a lot of football fans adopted other teams, and it's natural that they adopted a Cali team. I mean, they have a rich history. Jerry Rice, come on. Who wouldn't like the 49ers if you didn't have a team here? Even my brother growing up liked the 49ers, I was never like a fan per se of the Niners, but I did like Colin Kaepernick. I was always a fan of his, and I like what they stood for at that time. And even though they lost in the Super Bowl to the Ravens, that was a fun team to watch. But I could never call myself a fan of that. Never bought any gear, nothing. So I'm not a bandwagon. I was born a diehard Rams fan, 2016. And I'm going to die a diehard Rams fan 2016. Even when we suck, trust me, you will find me a Rams fan always. That's the thing about me. I'm a real loyal person to my friends, to my family, to my girl, to everybody, man. It's all about loyalty, fam. Hey, Dan, no disrespect, but you look like who? I have no idea who that is, bro. So he said, Dan, being Canadian, everyone should watch Kobe's Raptors game today and witness greatness. Truly was greatness, man. I have man, It hurts me. I haven't seen too many Kobe games since he passed, but I'm gonna start. I have watched highlights. I've watched, like I said, interviews. I love watching his interviews, post game interviews, or appearances and podcasts. All that. There's a lot of gold you can mine off of Kobe's brain. All right, even now that he's gone, so he left us a lot of little gifts. It's up to you guys to discover them. My boy said your wish came true, bro. Rams are here to stay in LA. In a way, it would be cool if the Rams win the Super Bowl. It would mean so much for the city of Los Angeles. Yes, and you know what, Adam? You get it, bro. If the Rams won the Super Bowl, we're gonna throw a parade. And if I was a Rams organization, I would invite LeBron James and a lot of those Laker players, um, that won that 2020 championship, and have a joint parade. That would be just another dream come true for me. If somebody should send this idea to Stan Kroenke and the Rams organization. If you win the Super Bowl, invite the Lakers organization, and we'll be lifting 2 trophies in that parade. You know how much power that would be, and invite the Dodgers too. Yes, sir. How can I forget? We lifting 3 trophies at that parade. It would be sensational, man. I'm talking about a trilogy, just an absolute trilogy, man. And only a city like Los Angeles wins that much. So we are blessed, and it would be a beautiful sight to see. He said, "My boy said loyalty is everything. Been a Laker since before I was born. Me too, man. I was born into this. My family got me into this. So shout out to them for being smart, educated, and picking the right team. Because I would have hated it if my family would have been a Kings fans and they would, or Clipper fans, God forbid, and they would have indoctrinated that into my brain. Even though I have a strong brain, I think for myself, so I still would have found my way eventually to the purple and gold, baby. Because this is where my heart belongs always. So." It's destiny, man, and I believe in it. Hey, Dan, are we trading who? Dress Brick, or are we keeping him? Are you talking about Westbrook? I don't know, man. I really can't. I can't predict that because there's been conflicting reports about there being no interest, and then there being some interest, and then what is required to give it up. So I don't know. But one thing I know is for sure, man. Whatever move we make moving forward, we have to embrace it, and we have to adapt with that move and just get better, just get a lot better, because we're not there. Kita says, yes, I am so happy. Well, they did something right and signed him. I can't say much on this team, but this was the right call. Thank you, GM. Finally did something right. Yes, go Stanley Johnson. That's right, Kita. Very, very happy for Stanley and for the Lakers. You're right. It's a marriage made in heaven because we want to be a defensive juggernaut in the West, and it takes players like that. Players that are willing to sacrifice it all. And players like that actually thrive even more in the playoffs because there's more physicality. And usually, not all the time, but usually players are allowed to get away with more bumping and more of the physical aspect of the game. So he would really thrive in the playoffs. His play style is perfect for the playoffs, assuming that the league doesn't go soft on us per usual and start calling some BS, right? Would I pull the trigger right now for Wall? If it was straight up 1-for-1, yes. But if we have to add more than a second round pick or just a role player we're not using, then no, I wouldn't do it. So because it's not much of an upgrade, to be honest with you. It's a little upgrade. The biggest upgrade is just the fact that you get rid of a turnover leader, the leading turnover machine that is Russell Westbrook, and a bad attitude. That's the biggest upgrade. John Wall's still not a great shooter career-wise, injury prone, and he still has a massive contract, similar to Russell Westbrook. So you're not getting out of a lot with that trade. But if it was 1-for-1, I'd do it in a heartbeat just to get rid of Russell Westbrook. And it's sad that I have to think like that because I supported the move for him to come here. But it's just we've done a 180, and as far as him being here and embracing the city and the city embracing him, that I'm not sure if there's any way to recoup from it unless he helps us win a championship and improves his game, which sounds like an impossibility. So, but if that happens, I would get back on the Russell Westbrook train and be like, I was wrong. I apologize. I'm happy. Well, I was initially right when I wanted you here, and now I'm wrong. I will apologize. I don't have too much pride to be a man and apologize. Ian Smith says, I've been a 49er since I was 18 years. I am now in my late 50s, but I need the Lakers to fire Vogel ASAP. I like how you jump from one subject to the next, man. That's some real passion for your ass right there. That's dope. I agree, man. But I already talked about it. I love you. Thanks for the love. Hey, I love you guys as well. Trust me, man. You guys have my heart, Laker Nation, forever, forever, ever, ever. And the great words of Andre 3000, man. What did Kendrick say, Russ? Be humble? Oh, I see what you did there. You meant Kendrick Lamar. For some reason, I thought you meant Kendrick Nunn, so I was confused about your joke. But yeah, for sure. For sure. Somebody needs to sneak some somebody needs to sneak the track into Russell Westbrook's iTunes or something, man. Airdrop it. Because he needs to hear that about 1,000 times before it, gets simmered into his brain. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, man. We went off the rails a little bit, talked a couple of different subjects, but we mainly kept it about Kobe Bryant. So I'm very happy with this live stream. And again, rest in peace to the GOAT, to his beautiful daughter Gigi, and to everybody who perished that day. Let's continue to commemorate him in a positive manner and just celebrate their life, man, because it was just a special time, and we're always going to cherish that. With that, I thank you guys for all the support, donations, likes, views, any form of support, man. Again, if you guys haven't seen my tribute video for Kobe Bryant and you have the stomach for it, and you're mentally strong enough to do it, go ahead and check that out. Smash the like button, share it. It truly helps out the channel. So thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your day, man. RIP Mamba. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.